Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome to Justsewsherrie. I'm Justsewsherrie here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. Well, hello and welcome. Welcome to anyone who's been here with me from the start. Welcome to anybody who have found themselves getting hooked up along the way. And welcome if you're brand new. I hope you like what you see and you subscribe and like the videos and do all the things. So, where are we? We are on the 29th of December. So it is the last one of 2024. Can you believe it? I'm still stuck in May 2022. Why does life speed up when you get older? There must be somebody must have done some research into it somewhere along the way. There must be a reason. I think I might have to put me sleuthing cap on and become Sherlock Holmes and go and do some research. So, where are we? What are we doing? Did you have a nice Christmas? Have I asked you already? I did. It was nice and quiet. I went to my brother's and my parents were going. Unfortunately, Kathmandu, my dad, had man flu. And there's nothing worse. Man flu at Christmas. I mean, you can just imagine the sorry state he was in. I mean, he could barely lift the remote. Barely. You know, weak and feeble and... He had a great day home alone with the remote, quite happy. In the meantime, I had to take the mothership through to my brother's, and I nearly killed her along the way. It was about an hour's drive to my brother's, and she kept forgetting she was with me in the car and thinking it was my dad, and kept trying to tell me what to do and tell me that car's indicating if you just oh no, just watch this. Breathe, Sherrie, breathe. Murder is illegal. Breathe. So yeah, and my brother's a fabulous cook. So it was a very, very, very lovely Christmas dinner that we had. And then Boxing Day, I know you guys in the States don't have, I don't know whether there are any other countries, whether the Commonwealth countries, Canada and Australia, don't know if you have Boxing Day, do you? I don't know. I don't even know why we've got Boxing Day. I mean, officially it's St. Stephen's Day, isn't it? We've got Jesus' birthday on the 25th and then St. Stephen's Day on the 26th. But basically it's just another day to pig out, drink too much. I was going to say something else. Make bodily noises too much. Yeah, it's just another day to do it all again, but without the stress of Christmas Day. And I think the majority of people could probably skip from Christmas Eve straight through to Boxing Day and quite happily forego Christmas Day. So yeah, it was lovely. It was nice. And then I had, like I say, the full day stitching on Boxing Day. In fact, I even had a Jama day, and it's not very often I have those. So yeah, and my Jama days are with intent. In other words, I get up, I get washed, I put my underwear on, and I put new jammies on, and that's me, happy as a pig in poo. So, did you all get anything nice stitchy wise? I did. I'll show you when we get to after the stitching stuff. But I got a couple of really, really lovely gifts off people. And that also brings me to a couple of thanks I want to say. Actually, it's quite a lot of thanks I want to say. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who has suffered through either an episode or a month or a year, who's been with me from the beginning. I really, really am grateful. I can't, and I suppose everybody says this, but, well, like, not quite a year and a half later, but not far off. It's been a wild ride. It's been, whenever I'm struggling to find gratitude, I read my comments and you guys just lift me up. You really do. So yes, thank you to everybody along the way who's either watched, liked, subscribed, done any of that, because I wouldn't still be going if you hadn't, I'll be honest. Yeah, I don't think, well, I mean, I don't know, I can't say for certain. The whole point of doing it was to, somebody asked me recently, it was at the Jingle Ball, somebody said in one of the stitching rooms, for you people that do floss tubes, why did you start them? And I said, I think partly mine was through loneliness, and I don't mean that in a sad way. I mean that, as most of you know, I work from home. I live alone, apart from with the two fur balls, German Scout. I work from home. I stitch at home. My life pretty much revolves around my home. And sometimes it can just get a little bit, it's not lonely, but I just need to connect a little bit more is all. So when I say loneliness, I don't mean I'm lonely, and I'm not, I'm really not. It's just about the connection. I can hear one of the fur balls screaming as we speak. It's like, oh, she's talking about her. Mum, we're here. We've been locked in for 3 years. Let me out. Don't listen to them. So yes, I wouldn't be here without all of you lot. And I'm very, very grateful. I do have a couple of thank yous, but I'm going to go and sort these boys out. I shall be back toot sweet. Right, I've kicked them out. Because we've got important business to be getting on with, haven't we? So yes, thank you for that. I also want to say a special thank you to Sarah Bowen, who bought me a cuppa recently. And I'm always really humbled by people who go, because you can do it, it's in the link's in the description box. But I rarely mention it. So for somebody to take the time to go into it and buy me a cuppa, please know, Sarah, I'm very, very grateful. And to all of you who've bought me cuppas along the way, they always, and I look sometimes at like the little list and think, oh man, that's so lush. It really is lush. And I'm very, very, very grateful. And also a massive thank you to Sue Radford, who sent me a gift voucher for my very favouriteest online stitchery, The Talking Dog, which I got on Christmas Day. And I was blown away, like, oh my God. I still haven't asked Rachel whether she had to, whether it was set to go. I hope it was set to go, like she didn't have to actually go on Christmas Day and do it. I'm hoping that she had a way not to, because she got two very littlies. I've just had to do a smoosh edit kind of thing there and lob off the last little bit because I said something. I named names and I shouldn't have. Anyway, yes, Rich's got two little ones, 2 and 5 or 6 maybe, I think. But massive thank you, Sue. It was just like, wow. That's mad. My mum was seriously impressed. I was telling her when we were going for dinner. She was like, Sherrie, I was like, I know. Isn't that incredible? So thank you so much, Sue. That really meant the world. Next thing, Justsewsherrie. It's a goodie. Well, I think it's a goodie. yeah. So I was sat on Christmas Eve downstairs, had me cuppa in the morning, and thought, you know, when you've got those presents that you're like, I'm not buying for everybody. I'm not. And then by the time you get to Christmas Eve, the guilt has worn you down, and you think, no, I'm going to. So it was about 7:30 in the morning. So I upped and got dressed. I thought, right, I'm going. So I went to Next at Cramlington, which is the next town over from me, and bought some little things for some extended members of the family. Took them to the till, and the woman says, yeah, what's your plans for after this, or something like that, you know, I've got the nice plan for the rest of your Christmas day, Christmas Eve. And I went, oh yeah, and you know when you have that where you clicker through what you're going to do in your head, and it takes like a nanosecond. So I was clickering through thinking, Christmas Eve, what am I going to do? Why was I not looking forward to Christmas Eve? Was I not? Oh, shit. And then out loud I says to her, my God, I'm meant to be working. She just went, oh, I just can't believe I forgot. She went, how can you forget that you're working? I was like, and I nearly said, well, it's just so me, isn't it? Because she doesn't notice. So yeah, I forgot I was meant to be. And I was home alone as well. The gaffer and the big gaffer were both off, so it was just me. So I logged on a little bit later than I normally would have. I haven't seen the gaffer or the big gaffer yet to tell them. Fortunately, I'm very lucky that they know me. To be fair, they wouldn't have known if I hadn't. Well, they won't know unless I tell them. But I will tell them. My manager, Claire, will probably just laugh. Yeah, and we'll probably not tell the big boss, because I don't think there's any real need for it to know. Can't believe I forgot. How can you forget to work? Well, so why are we here? Let's get on with this showbiz jazz. Showbiz? Jazz hands. Yay. Christ, I've had too much coke. It's only 6:20 in the morning. I shouldn't be on this already, but hey ho, life's too short. I have got 2 finishes. I've got 1 new start. I've got 1 start and finish. And I have got 3 whips. But they are... No, I haven't. I'm lying. Because that's a new start. So, let we go. Let we start. I finished this little beauty. So this is by October House Fibre Arts. And I enjoyed every single second of this, to the point where I was thinking I could stitch it again, you know, and I still might. I might stitch it again and maybe give it as a gift to someone, because I could quite happily do it. Now, I did it with all the called for over dies. And I don't know if anybody watched last week's, but if you can remember, this is meant to be 36 counts for my khaki. I'm not convinced it is. I'm not convinced that I got the labels mixed up. I don't know. But basically it's just like a natural looking linen. And I love this. And this will go in a frame. And I don't know what it is about this, but you know Katie from So Tattered, whenever I look at this, I just think of her. To the point where I nearly thought I'm going to send it to her. And I'm not. She's got stuff, you know, her own stuff. But yeah, I did. Every time I look at it, I just think it's because she loves like a traditional Christmas, and she loves Christmas. And when I say she loves Christmas, I mean she loves Christmas. Bit like Buddy the Elf. I mean, like, loves it. And I think it's because she does a lot of sort of traditional Christmas trees and things like that. So I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know what it is. But for some reason, I look at this and I think of Katie. It is. It's so sweet. And it's just like her. Just like her. So sweet. And my second finish, I did it. Not quite in time. But I was only off by 24 hours, which I'm calling a massive bloody win. So this was Evertote's Advent Sal. Hold it up a bit. I've mentioned it before, but it's like, obviously the camera's like here. Was that a thing? My camera's here. But for some reason, it doesn't capture all the screen that I can see. So sometimes I've noticed when I hold things up, the buttons are cut off and things. So even though I can see it in my full reflection, yous end up not being able to see it. So apologies if there's things that cut off, and that's why. So it's trying to figure out where the hell where the box is going to end for what the viewers see. So anyway, yes, this is Evertote Advent Sal, and it was a collab with Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery and Kerry from Roxy Floss Co, and it's Caroline from Evertotes that organises it. And this is done with 25 different colours, so 25 Roxy Floss. And I have now got some fabulous threads. So it's done on 36 count glace here. I mentioned this last week, I think, and I should have checked, but I think it was dyed specifically for this Sal. I assume it will be then released at some point. But yeah, 25 different flosses. Floss or thread? I've been meaning to have this conversation with you. I'm not sure about people who are abroad, but in the UK, when and why do you start calling thread floss? I'd never heard of it before the stitchy community. And when I first heard it, I just thought, oh, it's an American word. And it's not. It's in the Cambridge Dictionary. You know, it means thread. But when did you change from calling it thread to floss? Do you know what I'm asking? Like, was there a day when you learned, no, we don't call it thread anymore, we'll call it floss? And is it specific to the cross-stitch community? So, for example, if you were doing embroidery, would you call it thread? Or would you still call it floss? I don't understand, because I've just always known it as thread, so I still call it thread. The only thing I do use it consistently for is when I talk about floss drops, basically, and that's because I'd never come across thread drops, so I only know them as floss drops. But I'm curious, thread or floss, where was the evolution? I'd like to know the evolution, the steps that you took to calling it floss. So anyway, that is that. And I have ended up with 25 fabulous flosses from Roxy Floss Company. Isn't it wonderful? And no, I haven't missed. I keep looking at this because there's a heart. Everything's symmetrical apart from this heart. And there isn't a one on the pattern. I did think, do I want to put another one in? I might well at some point, but I needed it to be done. Needed it to be done. So I finished it on Boxing Day, which I am thrilled to bits with, because it was meant to be finished on Christmas Day. Considering Christmas Day is Christmas Day, I am pretty chuffed that I got it finished Boxing Day. I'm frozen. I think the radiator in this back room stopped working. So, but then again, we've talked about this before, haven't we? So, new starts. Should we do the start and finish first? It kind of comes into my plans as well. So my plan for 2024 was to do the monthly Quakers from the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. And I'm going to talk about that at the end, about plans and things like that. So this year I thought I would do the stockings from Blackbird. But I wanted to get ahead of the game, so I wanted to have January's done in December, so that I can, in January, be doing the month before, because I felt last year I was always chasing my tail. I was always doing the month when I was in the month. And I just, yeah, you live and learn, don't you? So I was adamant, no, not doing that. I am going to get ahead of the game, and I'm going to do December's, and I did it. So obviously it needs to be fully finished, but that is done. I really like it. I think it's really pretty. Now there's 3 in each one. So you can see I've done this one. I might do this one. I am not going to do that one. The one with the birthday cake on it. I'm not going to do that one. But I might track back and do the other one. So this is done on 36 count parchment, which is my go-to, with all the called for threads. And if you want a little project, if you're looking for a little project that is a quick stitch, these are perfect. So this is the floss. So yeah, these are the threads. So that, I'm lying, it's not done. It's not done at all. Sherrie, you. I haven't. No, it is. It is done. Is it done? I don't know if it's done. Hang on, let me check. It isn't done. It isn't done. So, you see in here, it's meant to have some satin stitch in. I haven't done it yet. Okay, we're skipping through the whips. This is one of my whips. Every time there's one. Every time. Oh, I'm blushing. How embarrassing. It's fair enough to have forgotten a stitch, but to whip it out as a start and a finish. You see, pride comes before a fall. So this is one of my whips. I've still got the satin stitch to do in the basket. Everyone's a winner. Right, well, I need to put that back in. So we just had a little detour into whips there, guys. Better put it in a different pile. I can't go in my finishes now. Oh my God. Right. One moment. Okay, I think I'm composed. Okay. So I do have 2 new starts. And yes, they are really... In fact, I haven't. I'm lying again. Again. 3. I've got 3 new starts. First one was on Christmas Eve. I finally started Miss Christmas Eve. This was meant to be started last Christmas Eve, but I messed up with the fabric, couldn't start it, and I put her on timeout. I mean, she hadn't even come out of her package and she was in timeout. God love her. She's been there all year. I finally got some fabric, and then I decided I wasn't sure about it, and I put it out to use to see what you thought. It was pretty split. There was some that came back saying use, because it was a fabric by Sparkly's Capricorn. Some of you came back and said use the Capricorn. Some of you came back and said I wouldn't use the Capricorn. So I went with what I said I was going to do. Very unusual for me, I know. But I thought I'm going to start it on the Capricorn, and if I don't like it, I'm going to change it. But I actually am quite pleased with it. So I've got a relatively good start on it. So I've started with her plumage. So you can see I've started going round, and then I wanted to get into, I was desperate to get into the reds and the greens, the bodice. So where have I got to? Yeah, so I have got to her bodice there. That's the bodice coming down. This is her neck. So this is the hat and the plume. And I was kind of just a bit sick of confettiing. So I worked my way down here. And I like it. I like it on the fabric. I do like it. Other people might not. It's coming out. Can you see the bits that are like light? In reality, they're not as light. They're more like this colour. This isn't. It isn't white. It hasn't got white bits in it, and it looks as though it does on camera, and it doesn't. It's all sort of greeny and yellowy. So I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased I got it. No, I am pleased with it. I need a thumbs up. Never get a bloody thumbs up when I try. No. It's not going to happen. I'm looking out the window, you know, because it's black dark. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Which means all my neighbours can see is all of them, because I'm illuminated in the light. They must wonder what the hell I do well, it's usually a Saturday morning. Today's a Sunday. They must wonder what does that batty old woman do? Why should what's she doing? What's she doing? So what was I saying? I can't remember. Yes, I'm pleased with the progress. That was it. Pleased with the progress that I got on Christmas Eve. I think it's not a bad start, and I have been thinking to do it on the 24th of every month, but that's not enough. I would like to get more progress on it than one day a month. So I think I'm going to try and do the 2nd, the 4th and the 24th. And then that's at least 3 days every month. We will see how it goes. And we will talk about it when I get to plans. Plans for 2025. 2025. Every time I say it, I think, how? So this next 2 new starts are from my lovely friend Alison, who sent me this as a Christmas present. Can't find the pattern. Found it. I've got it. So it is Hands-On Design. Sorry, I'm trying to stop the glare from the light. Hands-On Design, the Christmas Tide Sampler. I've said it before and I will say it again, and hopefully I'll remember to say it again next year, because I think this little beauty is the single most perfect Christmas present for a stitcher. Obviously, depending on, they might not stitch anything like this, so therefore it wouldn't be. But because it starts, it's a SAL, it's a self-directed SAL if you like, and it starts on Christmas Day, so I think that's perfect. And it also, every day, there's not as much, so the Advent, me Modern Folk Embroidery Advent, was 200 stitches a day or thereabouts. Problem is, if you miss 2 or 3 days, you're up to like 600 stitches. So then to catch up and then keep on top of your 200 stitches is, I think, and that's why I was getting really stressed in December, because I couldn't stitch on things my heart was drawn to for things that I had to do. And I know I chose to do it, and I can choose to put it down and not do it. I know that. But it was sitting in my head how much I paid for it, and yeah, it needed to be done. And I knew, because it's not a pattern, this one. This is not a pattern I would have bought. I reread the instructions, Jacob's instructions. I should have said all this at the beginning. And it says, do it. It says, I've done it for 25 flosses. And yes, I'm saying floss because that's what he said in the instructions. But you do it with what you want. And if I was to do it again and read it again, I would do it in a monochrome. I would do it in monochrome. That is the right word, isn't it? For one colour, yeah. I would do it again. But anyway, I'm digressing backwards to Jacob's. But this one, that was a bit like a firework, wasn't it? Did anyone say that, or was that just me? So day 1, all you need to do is these 2 stars. Day 2 is the other 2 stars. Day 3 is this top bow. And day 4 is the bottom bow. This, to me, is way more doable. Well, not way more doable, because Jacob's, I did it. It's not more doable. It's that it still allows me to pick up the time to pick something else up in that day and do it as well. Whereas I found there was days I was only stitching on me ever-taught SAL. So yeah. So this is where I am on it. I have kept up. I have done it and I've kept up. Did I say it was off my friend Alison? I think I said it was off my lovely friend. I don't know if I said her name. Who is the kindest woman in the world. Actually, she's not, because I've got other kind ladies in the world, people like Rhonda and Val and all sorts of wonderful, Rebecca, Jean, Jackie. And this is just off the top of my head. But yes, Alison is one of the kindest people in the world. And she's lovely. She's a really sweet lady. I'm impressed that I'm keeping up again. Although I have felt a little bit like, oh God, another SAL. I've just got rid of the big one. But I'm loving this one. And this little beauty, the fabric I'm talking about. has become my new must-have staple in my, I was going to say arsenary, armoury, arsenal. Yeah, I need to have some of this. It is, and I think I got it wrong because it says 16 count chalkboard black or 32 count charcoal linen. So I assume this is called charcoal, and the relevant Ada is called chalkboard. Do you know what it is? This is all because I got up really early and I was ready to do this by like 6 o'clock, and I was like, I am nailing this, nailing it. So of course it's all going to go belly up. Yes, so this charcoal linen, it's just unusual why you would have the linen called a different thing to the Ada. That's not something I've come across before. Maybe you have, but I haven't. So yes, I need more of that charcoal in my arsenal. And because I was loving it so much, quite literally so much, I started the other one. So the other one is it a Christmas decoration? Ornament. Yeah. So there's me going, oh, I've got another cell. Do you know what? I'm going to stick another one in as well. So yeah, so I started this a couple of days ago. And what I'm doing is I'm doing me sal first thing in the morning. Only takes us about an hour to do. And then I'm doing half an hour or 3/4 of an hour, whatever, on this. So I'm doing a little bit on that, a little bit on this. But for me to be doing a Christmas ornament after Christmas, I do love it, Alison. Thank you so much. The colours just really do pop. I need more of this fabric. I happen to know a girl with an online stitchery, so I have asked her if she can get some. In the new year, she may, this isn't mine to tell, but she may be doing, because she has started doing fabric. She has started doing fabric. She's got weeks at the moment, but she may at some point be doing Zweigart. Might. And if she does, I might have to get some. And so anyway, I'm doing it with all the called for. And this is them. And I found another red I like, Cardinal. Because it's usually red Lancaster as my go-to. But Cardinal, that is, I'm liking the Cardinal. Right, they are all me finishes. New start and almost finish. Whips. So I've only got 2 whips left now. Doesn't feel like very much, but I mean, it's only been a week, I suppose. Where's that? I've just had it in my hand. That black bit of card. What have I done with it? Do you know this happens with me needles? I have them in my hand and then it's gone and I don't know where they go. Oh, there it is. Probably don't even need it anyway. So this is, I haven't done much on this, I just picked it up yesterday. This will be my next focus to get done. Hello from Liz Matthews, Quaker Snowflakes. And I am doing the negative one. And I've picked my own fabric. And I chose Lyrebird Dell from, is it Fox and Rabbit? Yeah. Lyrebird Dell from Fox and Rabbit. So what have I done? no huge amount, but I've put this little doofah in. I've done this one. I've done these two little doofahs. That one. Have I done this one, or half of this one? Obviously I'm just working down here. So we are almost at the bottom, which is where we change colours and do sort of a bronzy and a coppery. I don't know whether sure I did a so I've got these. Don't know whether these are the called for, whether I've just picked them up. Let's have a look. 3024 and 3064. Oh, so it's 3064, but it's 3023, and I've got 3024. I can only assume I didn't have 3023, and I thought, well, it's closest. We'll go with that. We will go with that. So that is what I'm doing. We will wait and see. I think this will go lovely. Not sure whether you'd even be able to tell the difference with this. Not sure if it matters, because it'll still have that pop part, won't it? So that is that. God, oh, I kind of hold things up with my left arm. Yeah, because I just can't. What am I doing? What am I doing? I could just be putting this away and sort it out later while I'm talking to you. Like, sorry, I can sort it out when you're not here, because at the moment I'm talking to you, aren't I? Now my last whip, and I spent pretty much all day yesterday on this. I have fallen head over heels in love with this beautiful lady. She is magnificent. Magnificent. And I suspect you will agree wholeheartedly when I show you. So I pulled out my Snow Queen by Nora Corbett. I think this is in December, you see. I was looking forward to pulling this out, and I never had the time because I was always had to do something else. And I think that's the thing that was frustrating me the most out of everything. But I picked her up yesterday, and oh my word. Got a cable tie stuck to my needle minder. Look at her. She suddenly, she's suddenly becoming real. Like I can see her. I can really see her now. So yesterday what I did, I'd done all of this and all of this. Yesterday I went in putting some of the little confetti bits in here that had been left. I did the blue, these are Karen Water lilies, these two blues. So I did the blue from our bridal and the blue here. I finished the cream. I did all of this. And then I started on the purple for our saddle and putting the blue in. It looks like black, it's not, it's a very dark blue along here. So I did quite a bit on her yesterday, and oh, she looks real, doesn't she? I mean, if you cut that part off, she just suddenly looks real. just want to sit and gaze at her. I do. Is that really bad? Do any of you have stitches where you just quite literally can't take your eyes off? And I think it's because I was so busy yesterday. You know, as you do, you're focused in, you're stitching, you're doing the bits. And it wasn't till I sat back, because the way I had her hooped up, you can see here actually, was here. So I was hiding like a face while I was stitching. So as soon as I took her out the hoop last night, I was just like, oh wow. Wow, wow, wow. And if anybody's wondering, if you weren't around last year, we had to go and do some research, didn't we, guys? We went and did some research on reindeers and antlers and such like, and we discovered that male reindeers, it started off with, I didn't know what you called a male or a female reindeer. They call them bulls and cows, the same as dolphins. And then I read a little bit further on after that, and what was it? Oh, that's right. The males lose their antlers in about September, after rutting season, I think. The women, the females, keep the antlers and are usually pregnant during the winter. So we discovered that Santa's sleigh was pulled by a team of magnificent, probably pregnant female reindeers. Yeah, really, really, really. And you're not surprised, are you not? I bet you're not. Of course it's a women. Come on, Santa, let's just get on with it. I'm pregnant, not ill. But yeah, so she is just beautiful. Can't stop looking at her. Can't stop. And I think it's now that I'm starting to put the colours in as well. Starting to put the blues and the purples. Whereas before she was just sort of the browns and the whites. So I am doing it with all of the Cold 4 fabric. I got this fully kitted from Hawkins Hobbies at Harrogate last year. So yeah, Twilight Blue, 32 count Twilight Blue by Witchelt. So that's what I'm doing it on, and I'm doing it with all of the Cold 4, which I keep in Flossaway bags when it's a big project like this. I need to put, sorry, I'm talking to myself here. I need to put the beads, I'm looking at the beads. There's all the beads. So I need to put them in my bead storage. That's why that line over there. And that is all of my stitching. So let's move on to the things that I've been gifted and forward plans. Shan't be a tick. Right, I've had a right little get together, like sorting me stuff out. What I'll do is I'll go through the presents that I was given first, and then all of the rest of the stuff falls into my plans. So it'll be a bit of a, this is what I got, but this is what I'm going to do with them kind of thing. So where to start? Lauren, Flossabilities. She sent me lots of little parcels, lots of little presents that I was under strict instructions not to open until Christmas Day. I almost got there. I opened one. Lauren, only one. opened. So she gave me a bag of threads, floss. So in there was, I don't think I've even opened these actually. Kudzu Weeks, Mint Julep, Classic Colourworks, Havana, and I was over the moon because I needed Havana. So Lauren, massive thank you. I needed some of that. Classic Colourworks Dandelion Stem. That is like a very lime green. It's not, you can't see it in the thing. Cashmere. Oh, you can see them if I hold them back. Which is like a very light purple. Bella Rosa. I don't have any of these. So these are really, really cool. And blue beadboard. I have not one of these. And bearing in mind I've got quite a bit. So, well done, Lauren. I'm super impressed. And she sent me this chart. Getting out, she put sweet little notes in with them all, man. And she dead canny. I do love this. JBW W. I was listening to you American girls, and I kept thinking, you say that different to me, but I can't figure out how. And it took me months, and I mean months, of watching Flosstube and listening to people talk about. And I figured out the difference is that the difference is an L. So some of, well, not necessarily all of you, but a lot of the American girls that I've heard talk about JBW, W, whereas we say double U. And I think that's the difference. There was, you know, when you're listening to something, you're thinking, I can't figure out where the difference is. And I think it's L. We say double U, and you say double U, I think. Anyway, it doesn't really matter how or which way it's said, potato, potato. It's still a bloody lovely design. And I'm thrilled. I got Wax and Moon Designs Winter House Trio. I love these. I do love these. And I also got Brenda Gervais. Is it? Oh, it's With Thy Needle and Thread. I don't know. I mean, I know obviously she's got them slightly different. Some are Brenda Gervais, some are under the company name, but I don't know how she decides what goes where. But anyway, I got one of these, and I've already got one. So guess what will be a giveaway. Well done, computer. You nailed it. You nailed it. I love this. And one of my favourite staple go-to fabric. I haven't asked her whether this was deliberate or just a happy coincidence. Winter Moon. Winter Moon, we know I love my Winter Moon. Winter Moon, parchment, now charcoal. Are they the three? I know that the two I've bought yards of because I use them so much, but I was running out of Winter Moon. So, nailed. Thank you, Lauren. Massive thank you. And thank you to you and your mum for being there for me. I'm very, very grateful. And then I got a token dog Christmas present. So off Rachel. She knows me. She knows me well. My favourite red Lancaster. This will not come in wrong. Lancaster red even. Isn't it fabulous? And a cottage garden thread, elderberry. And she knows I'm all about the blues. I love me blues. And I got two charts. spring sampler seasons, and I am busy sort of collecting all of these. So again, Rach, nailed. And of course there had to be a Stacey Nash in there, and I haven't got this, and I've got a lot of Stacey stuff, but I don't have this, and I'm sure this is one of Stacey's favourites. I know she's all about the chickens. But the pièce de résistance, yes, there's something even better than Stacey. Can you believe it? Look at this. Feast your eyes on that. Tiger's Eye, I think it's called. Yeah, Tiger's Eye by Weeks Dye Works. And I don't know whether she's done it deliberately, but the way it was set out, wouldn't that be fabulous? Look at that, man. That would be a wow factor. So I am now keeping my eyes out for probably some sort of a autumn or Halloween stitch. Either a dark blue, could do a black, but maybe a dark blue would be something a bit different. So it was really lovely, because I don't have presents to wake up to on Christmas morning. I usually get a gift off my parents when I see them, and something off my sister, and that's it really. My daughter's the other side of the world, living her best life. She's in Lake Tahoe actually at the moment. She spent Christmas at Lake Tahoe in the snow, so I'm extraordinarily jealous. So they're the presents that I got. I also wanted to show you things I bought along the way as well. I bought these a few weeks ago, but I forgot to show you them. So I got these all from Etsy. Historical Sampler Company, the snowman chart. It's better. I got this, Merry Little Christmas by Country Rustic Primitives, Jenny Hoffman. I like that, and I know it's dead simple, but I just liked it. I just liked it. And this. Now, I bought this at the Jingle Ball, not through the Jingle Ball, but we were talking in one of the chat rooms about this. And of course, we all kind of went off and bought it. So this was done. I'd quite forgotten about this. Michelle, Mum Loves You GB, was talking about it a little while ago. So Ruthie of Crow's Feet Stitching charted this for Whitby Museum. So it's been done for charity, if you like, for the museum. I can't remember the details. I don't know if it's for a new roof. It's a bit like a church. A church always needs a new roof. I don't know. It could be a new roof. It could be a new stand to put things on. It could be another employee to run the museum. I don't know. But I know that it's raising money for the museum. And she charted it for free. I know that. So please help support. I'm sure you can find out the proper stuff, because I'm not very good at that. What am I going to do next? Plans. So, first plan. New Year's Day. New Year starts. I have got two that have been kind of set for me, so I need to find another one that is just mine, and more will make sense. So I have never done a blessing sampler, but this came out, Chris the Campton Stitcher, and I loved this because it is doable for me. alongside having other things to stitch. I don't want to go back to where I was in December, where I literally didn't have a spare minute to do anything my heart desired, kind of thing. So I love this. I think it's sweet, I think it's simple, and I think it's doable. And I've gone so far as I've chosen my fabric. This, I do not know what kind of fabric this is. It's almost like a witchelt. I would need to count it. I think it is at least a 36, if not more. Might be a witchelt, I'm not sure. And I have chosen one of my lovely Rachel's Cottage Garden threads. Papa? Yeah. So that is a blessing sampler that I'm doing. And it's the first year I've tried one, so thank you, Chris. It's a beautiful pattern, it's lovely, really lovely, and I'm going to enjoy that because, like I say, it's doable. The Folkses, Joanne and Suzanne at Historical Sampler Company, very, very, very generously sent me the gift box of the new sale that starts on the 1st of January. You can still get this. I have checked and it's still available to be ordered, so I will show you what is in it. Firstly, I haven't even opened this actually. Live on air. Live on air, what can possibly go wrong? I was just thinking there, you know the old saying, never work with children or animals in showbiz. I think I should probably include Sherries as well. Yes, and probably kids, animals or Sherrie. So you get this envelope, and inside it is your linen or Aida. You can get linen or Aida, and all of the threads that you will need to stitch, or I will need to stitch it. You get this is a notepad, I think. This is all happening live on air, guys. I mean, I'm being brave. So it's like a little thingy pad. And just a plain little notepad. I like that. That might become my new floss tube. So I need something little I can just jot stuff down on. Because I'm determined to get better. I'm not very good really at this floss tube thing. Still banging away hoping for the best, but that's about it. You get a nudge. It's an official nudge hoop to do it. You get a pair of scissors. Now I got a pair of scissors in the Advent. I think it was the Advent. Yeah, I'm sure it was. A pair of red ones. They're really sharp. I was super impressed. Really, really cool. Look at these. It's all about the sound. I love that. Floss drops. Yes, floss and drops. A little needle minder. Isn't that super cute? They do fabulous. Honestly, everything they do is such good quality. And I know I was banging on even the paper bags and the advent calendar. And you get a little bag to keep it all in. Happiness is homemade. So that is the gift box. You don't have to get the gift box. To join in, you can simply get the PDFs. Download the PDFs and they come out. They come out in 4 parts. Starts on the 1st of January. I can't remember the dates, but maybe one a week. I'm not sure. Don't listen to anything I say because I talk absolute rubbish. I think it was definitely 4 parts. I'm assuming it might be one a week. It might not be. And the last one that I've got to show you, and this was my gift to me for Christmas. And this is all 100% Sean the Periwinkle Stitcher's fault. I'm holding her absolutely responsible for this. She introduced me to, and introduced everybody, if you watch a Flosstube, and you should if you're not, the Stitchery, run by Nikki Franklin. Again, I could be wrong, but I got, pretty sure she was trained at the RSN, the Royal School of Needlework. And this, I suppose this isn't cross stitch, but it's needle art, fibre arts. So I got this. It's a New Year's Eve box. The Stitchery. This is like a historical sampler. Everything about it screams high quality. And I opened it, and this is what you get. Isn't that fab? It just is beautiful. So in it is, now this is just a little lavender. I think it's lavender. It's a little cushion anyway. I thought it was lavender, but maybe not. These threads, you get this. This is a New Year's Eve box. This is what you're meant to do on New Year's Eve. And inside here, oh, is your fabric, or a little bit of fabric, and the pattern. So it is embroidery. So that's your, where's me threads? There they are. And it teaches you, oh, on the back, how to do them, if you don't know. So that is that one. I say that one, because there's another one. And this one is slightly different. Do you know, I haven't even opened any of this. So there's the piece of felt, I assume that's for something. Silk? Raw silk? I could be wrong. It's obviously for finishing. And there's a little bag in the bottom, which I didn't even know, and it says, "May we never lose our wonder." I love that. You know me quotes. I love me quotes. And then is the biggie. So what she's done is it's printed on can you see that? That's better. And then you just stitch on top. And there's some stabiliser in there as well. I haven't opened this, so I'm seeing this for the first time. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Everything about it is just, I mean, I literally, you know when you get something you go, oh! It was literally like that, it really was. So that is that, and then on the other side, got all your threads beautifully presented. So they're all the ones for the bigger. And then underneath the threads are some Bowen embroidery needles, size 10. which is a pretty standard. In my experience, I haven't been to RSN. In my experience, you can go from like about a 7 to a 12. Only in my experience. So a 10 is bang on the middle. Some little scissors. I don't want to shove all the threads away yet. It's too pretty and beautiful. Little hoop. Nudge. I have not had a nudge round hoop before. I like this. I think Nikki Franklin may have just cost me more money. Thanks, Sean. I think I'll see her at cowslip workshops later on. Well, next year. So that is my New Year's Eve, apparently. Because I definitely didn't plan to do 12 and 12, did I? So they're the things I bought for my going forward plan. I love that. Love it. I don't want to stitch it because everything in it is just, it's all presented so lovely. So, forward plans. Give me a moment, I'm going to organise this stuff. Right, let's have a look at what I did, what I didn't, what I'm gonna, what I probably won't. So 24 and 24 I decided I was going to do. So 12 and 12 is a brainchild of Kia B, and you're meant to do 12 projects, whether that's 12 starts, 12 whips, 6 new starts, 6 new whips, 6 whips. You do you on New Year's Eve. And it's meant to be sort of 12 till 12. I don't do 12. I don't even go past 9. I don't even get anywhere near double figures. I just don't. So I did 8 till 8 last year, and I decided to do the From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy, the monthly samplers, as I mentioned before. It was fairly successful, so I just put a few stitches in. By the end, by November, December, I was flagging. I was really flagging. Would I do it again? I said that last year. Yes, I would, and yes, I am gonna. I like the thought of just having a little start in each one. You've seen me. I like me working threads. I like to be able to pick it up and just go. So that's why I want just a few stitches. I've done the counting, I've done the measuring, I've done the where I start. So it means that when I'm ready for that month, I can just pick it up and crack on. The other things I did last year, some were failures, some were successful. So my 24 and 24, I had also had the Seasons of the Heart, spring, summer, autumn, winter. Started spring, the rest went by the by. I just didn't like it when I was, and I will have to finish it one day because I will have to, but so the rest of those went by the by as well. Another 4 I chose to do was the Wee Birds, Heart and Hand, which I did do. I did Halloween. I've got Halloween twice on my list. I did Halloween, I did autumn, I did Christmas, and I did winter. And I did do them all. However, I only framed I definitely framed 1, I think. That's right, I framed it. I framed autumn and Halloween. It's party time. Yay. Remember this? Can we do this? I won't do it now. Oh man. Why won't it do what I want it to do? It won't happen. Anybody who's just swooped in here thinking she's nuts. It was a few Flosstubers ago I was talking about my friend Cross-Stitch Jess and saying that she'd started a new Flosstube channel, and I was doing the double thumbs up, and we had all these fireworks that appeared behind me, which was mad. But it appears that my computer just only does it when it feels like doing it, and it doesn't obviously feel like it today. Right, where was I? I framed Halloween and autumn, but I didn't like one of them, so I took it straight out after the season. Didn't even bother framing winter and Christmas, mainly because I didn't decorate this year. I wasn't feeling it. I had a rough few weeks in December there, so I wasn't feeling it, so I didn't bother. Thistle Crown by Ink Circles was a pain in my backside. I started it 3 times, and so it started, and I will stitch it on what I've got it on now, but at some point, by the time I got to me third lot of fabric, I was just over it. I was over it. Pisces by Nora Corbett, which is my birthday, didn't even start. The Meadow Roll Spool by the Cross Stitch Girl, Jane Greenhoff. I think I got 3 stitches in. So it was kind of a half successful, half not. So 12 and 12 this year. I've done January, kind of. So I'm now going to do, I'll pause while I unzip. So I've done January. I'll just show you the patterns. So that's February. Patterns are on the back. And what I do is I get them all ready, all prepped. I need to photocopy them. But other than that, they've got the threads in now. What I did was I went through all of them and did a list of the threads I needed. For those charts that I needed maybe 3, for 3 charts I needed, say it was avocado, that I needed in 4 charts or 5 charts. If it was more than 3, I ordered 2 skeins. If it was up to 3, I just got the 1. So as I go, some threads will then have to feed back into following months because they're not very big, which I found last year's, they don't look very big, but my God. Some of them took some doing. So that was February, March, April. I hated that one. I hated every stitch in it. You know, when you just get them where you just do. And yet, weirdly, this May was probably one of the heftiest. And I liked that. I enjoyed that one. I loved July. Loved it. August, I didn't much like. So there, some of them. So they'll all, yeah. This is my wonderful finishing. Chuck it over and glue it. Fun if I eat your heart out. I know, I should do some finishing classes really. I know I have a talent. I know. So, March. Daffodils. listen, but it is. So we're greens and yellows in March. April. And then threads. Oh, sorry, missed one. And this has got some threads in. May. Starting to get a bit lighter colours. June. These are pretty. All the yellows. Like this one. July is patriotic. Yeah, the colours. I won't do that one. I'll do either both or one of those two. Purely because I'm not American. So August. It's all about the sunflowers. It's called Sweet August. There the threads. I'm going to end up with a really, really, really good stash of threads as well after this. Much like the Roxy Floss. And then of course September we're coming into the warm oranges. Lush. Lush, lush, lush. November, October even. We're all about the pumpkins. I love these. I love all of these. I'll probably do them all if I've got the time. And, oh no, it's not the last one, is it? This is November. I like all of these ones as well. So what I've done is I've got all me threads together obviously, but the ones where I'm still missing, so I still need Clay Pot, Brethren Blue and Wood Trail to go in here. So when I come across those in me others, I'll automatically put them in here and cross them off until I've got them all where they need to be. In December I have got no threads in because they are all in all of the bags and I don't need that much more of them. So that's December. That'll take some stitching, I would think. I mean, they're little, but... And I like all of them as well. So, yes, I am going to do 12 and 12 as well as start my embroidery on New Year's Eve. That is the plan. New Year's Day, I'm starting, 25 and 25. So I was going to do it. I did 24 and 24, and with a 50% success rate. I've decided not to. When I counted up my starts for this year, Sally, this is for you. I did 57 starts and 37 finishes. So I've got a net increase of 20. I would like to go through, I'm going to do a whip parade because I need to organise it in my own head So that'll come out at some point. So it's not so much, it sounds awful, it's not so much about you, it's more for me. So I can see what whips I've got, and I can then make plans for which ones I want to get done. Because it's all very well having new starts, but yeah, need to get some whips done. Or UFO, some of them maybe. And I'm quite good at UFOing as well. I'm quite good at going, do you know what? No. Had this thing the other week, and I kept meaning to talk to you about it. That it was the Jardin Privé one, the birdhouse one that I'm doing. And I had started it and done, and I had a good start. And I decided it wasn't working for me. It was the fabric wasn't working. So I frogged that, and I've put the fabric to one side, and I've started another one. And I was thinking, I didn't feel that frustrated that I had to really start again, and I wondered why. And I think, and there's some psychology behind this somewhere, I know there is. What I realised was the stitching I'd done hadn't been wasted, because it had brought me peace. I'd really enjoyed doing the stitching, the pattern, thoroughly enjoyed it. So it hadn't been a waste of time to then do it again, because it had achieved the result I wanted, which was to have a nice afternoon. So, but then there's other ones like that month, April. If I had to do that again, oh, that would be awful. So actually, some of the things I frog, I don't mind, because I've got what I wanted out of it. Whereas like of April, I hated it the first time round. I'm not going to do it the second time. Or if I am, it's going to be under severe duress. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Makes sense to me. So anyway, I am, sorry I'm dotting around a bit. So I am going to go and find a new start for me as well on the 1st of January. And then I'll have those. My Advent's due to finish, my Christmas tide one is due to finish on the 5th. So I'll have capacity to slot something else in. And the monthly ones I've picked this year, unless I'm going to do all three of them, you know, they're all doable. Right, let me just organise this. So before I put these away, it's just occurred to me that I wanted to say, so I did this last year, I got them all in these folder bag things that you get from Amazon. And I had all the fabric ready to go, I had the patterns, I had the needle, and it was a bit of a, I wouldn't do it the same way last year, that's why I'm telling you, because the stuff that I learned from last year was I needed 12 lots of fabric cutting, I needed 12 needles, I needed 12 needle minders. I mean, it just kind of grew arms and legs. So this year I'm not doing any of that. I do need to photocopy them, but other than that, I'll probably use the same needle all day and just go from one to the next, because it was a pain in the backside, because I was doing it on 22 count hard hanger, so I needed a 28 needle. So I needed 12 size 28 needles, and it was just a pain. So that was what I learned last year from it. So I'm not going to do that this year. I've also got 2 fabrics. I don't know where it's gone. But anyway, I've got 2 fabrics that I'm alternating. So I've got Parchment by Weeks that I bought for full yard of 36 count, and Winter Moon. I don't know what I've done with it. So for some of them that are a bit more sort of oldie worldy, certainly like the October months is more of a sampler colour, and then I've got the winter moon, which is like a soft white, to do for some of the brighter months like the May's, June, July. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just cutting out a piece every time I get there. I've got 2 fabrics identified that I think I'm going to use, and I'll just switch needles. I'll just keep the same needle as I go through on New Year's Eve, and then obviously it'll get passed through. So I only need 1, although no doubt I'll have needed 12 by the time I get there because I'll have lost them all. Needle minders. I mean, I still lose them all the time. So that was what I learned from last year, and that's what I'm going to do this year, and that's all the reason behind it. I'm sick of hearing my own voice now. It's time I was firmly ensconced in my stitchy chair, getting this edited. Not that I do any editing, to be fair.